Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So Chris Lopez, Kail, Lowry's baby daddy, is taking a page out of her book and he just started a podcast. The Ashley Reality Roundup just put up an article, so I'm going to kind of bounce off it. She says Chris Lopez launches podcast. He talks fatherhood, cheating, and being in the public eye on the very first episode. I think this can be interesting. What I have realized from Chris is even though he did not want to be in the public eye on the show, it seems like now he enjoys it. I follow him on Instagram and he goes live a lot. And a lot of times when he's live, he gets a good amount of people in the live stream. So I wonder if Kail Lowry helped him with this in any way. You know, she has two podcasts now. She has one with Lindsay Chrisley, and then she has one with V, Joe's wife. So I wonder if she's given him any tips, if he's went to her to say, hey, how do we do this? What do I need? Maybe he'll tell us in the future. So he launched the podcast this week, and it was titled PTSD, Pressure Talks with Single Dads, focusing on fatherhood, personal experience, sports, and more. In the premiere episode, New Year, New Podcast, Chris and his co-host, Bread, that's right, Bread, jumped between various topics, many including relationships, both past and future. Now, the podcast is 50 minutes long. Obviously, they actually can't post the entire podcast, and neither can I. Her article just highlights the highlights. So we're going to go over them. On having PTSD when it comes to relationships. It's no coincidence that Chris thought of a podcast name that would result in the acronym PTSD, something that the father of two from his previous relationship claimed left him with, despite joking with his co-host that he does not know if it's real. So I guess he thinks he has PTSD, but he's not really sure. I guess he hasn't been like officially diagnosed, but that's crazy because I bet Kail Lowry would say the same thing. Like, hey, that relationship left me with a little bit of PTSD, you know? Chris and his co-host went on to share some strong opinions on potential partners, body counts, aka the number of sexual partners they have had, joking that a woman's body count doesn't matter as long as the number isn't high as the man's. Chris also claimed loyalty was important to him in a partner, as well as someone who would let him be the man, and in turn would step up when they needed to. I have a feeling some people might not like that. Anyways, he said a man feels like he got to do everything, but no, sometimes a woman needs to do it because they're better at it, and that's what I mean. Sometimes women try to step into a man's place. He said I had a problem with that in my previous relationship. He's probably talking about Kail, and I feel like obviously Kail takes on like mom and dad roles. She's like a single woman most of the time, you know. So of course Kail at home being a single mom is going to do the things that a man would normally do. So it's probably just her being used to it. Chris did tell his co-host that he thinks he is done dating women with kids. And I think that's a good idea because if you're not going to stay, you don't need to get attached to the kids because that only makes the situation worse. He said, even though I got a kid, I think I'm done with women with kids. Yep, he said, even though I got a kid. I think he's forgetting that he has two, so he should have said, even though I got kids, but whatever. When his co-host asked him why, he said, because when things get bad, you don't get taken away just from the relationship, but you also get taken away from the kids as well, and that's very true. He said, you build a bond with those kids, so it's kind of messed up when you don't get to see them the way that you want. It's like, this hurts. And if you watch the show, you do notice sometimes the kids have been like, is Chris coming? Where's Chris? Can Chris come? We like Chris. So Chris goes on to talk about the situation he has going on with his kids. He says that he enjoys being able to wake up to the kids sometimes, calling it a great feeling. He said, I love it. I don't try to take it for granted. Seeing your kids smile is just one of the best feelings ever. Chris said the biggest challenge of parenting is co-parenting. I'm still to this day trying to figure out how to co-parent in a successful way that doesn't really affect our kids where they don't got to grow up, you know, trying to recover from your childhood because their parents couldn't get it together or whatnot. He says he is trying to forgive his kid's mother, with forgiveness in general being one of his New Year's resolutions. What does he have? I wonder what he got to forgive Kail for. Now, I did find this interesting. Chris said when it comes to dating, he said, you are not into a relationship until it is determined by both people that they are in a relationship. Up until that point, they are just talking. And I think that's why probably Kail, I don't know, because there was a lot of speculation that they weren't like dating. And I think he even came out to say, like after she got pregnant with Lux, like we weren't dating. In his mind, they did not confirm it. He didn't confirm it. She didn't confirm it. So they were just talking. But in her mind, it's like, you're coming to stay at my house. You're sleeping in my bed. we're together. And I know me as a woman, that's how I would be. He says, this is where people be messing up. Like, we do everything that you do in a relationship until the title comes, and we just don't give it a title. But I think in a woman's mind, there's a title to it, even if you don't say it. Chris then went on to say that he has tried to stay away from the families when dating or talking to women, and joked saying that he also tries to stay away from stepping out in public. And we all know that he did not want to go public with Kail. There was he even at one point said, if the camera's panned towards me, I'm going to hit him, because he did not want to be out in the public eye. So on to his definition of cheating. While discussing relationships during the podcast, Chris all but called his co-host Brett a unicorn for the fact that he never cheated while in a relationship. After Brett explained to Chris, there ain't nothing to it, you just don't do it, the two jumped into a discussion of what does or does not fall under the realm of cheating. So, hands to Brett, you've never cheated. And he says there's nothing to it, you just don't do it. Absolutely. Brett told Chris, in his opinion, if you do something that you wouldn't want your partner to be doing, that's considered cheating, whether it's physical or not. Now, Chris joked about being a natural, flirtatious person. He seemed to agree with Brett's statement for the most part. You would not do it in front of your significant other. If you got to hide it, or if they done it, you would consider it cheating, then I think it's safe to say that it's cheating. So, on what he doesn't like about relationships. During the podcast, Chris basically called out Kail when revealing something he doesn't like about relationships. Okay, let's see. He says, you know what I don't like about relationships, though? It's like in relationships, like your partner, y'all might have some problems. As soon as they break up, now you're trying to bash them and talk down on them and stuff. I never understood that. It's like, why didn't you bring that up before? He said it gets to the point where he's really just like, oh, okay, that's how you really felt. Chris said that he didn't want to sound cocky, but he feels as though people are watching him. He recently commented on someone's social media post to see if people would react, which he said they did, just as he predicted. Though he said he appreciates his followers on social media, Chris said he also appreciates peace and privacy. Yeah, you can't have it both almost. It's like, if you're going to be out there, you're going to be out there. You're really not going to have peace and privacy, which I think is smart for Brett to go by Brett, because if he goes by his real name, then people are going to be trying to find out who he is, who his baby mama is, who his girlfriends are, and all of that, So, the entire podcast, I will link it in the description box below if you guys want to listen to it. But I think that was a pretty good rundown of it. Talks about cheating. If you wouldn't want them doing it, you don't do it. Him saying he would not date anyone with kids again because he gets attached. Him saying one thing that he doesn't like about relationships is obviously being public with them. Another thing is when you break up, the person taking to social media to bash you over something they didn't like, but they would not tell you why they were together. So it's a good rundown. You guys leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you guys want to watch it, click the description box. It'll be there. Then come back and tell me about the rest of the episode. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.